Hi, team. So we had three readings this week that Justin and I are going to discuss, and we'll have an open discussion, and then we'll toss it back to Yellow Dig for continuing questions. So one of the chapters that we looked at was a reading called The Data That Turned the World Upside Down. So as you remember, Justin, this was the article that was about utilizing a personality profile that's developed about you based on your digital footprint. So this was taking information that they had gathered on what you buy, on where you go, what you do, what you say online, and creating a personality profile for it. So then they were using this information to develop targeted marketing for you. And it turns out they were using this very specifically in the most recent presidential campaign. And so instead of doing broad spread marketing television campaigns, they were going digital and they were bringing it to you based on their personality profile of you and your specific preferences to target you and to make their candidate seem more appealing to you based on what they know of you. So let's discuss that, and we can talk about the ethics and the privacy concerns related to that activity and big data. So what do you think?
Well, I think we've all seen politicians that will tend to customize their message and talk to their audience to try to tell them what they want to hear. By using this world that turned the data upside down, the way that they customize their messages, they could send personalized messages directly to people through Facebook ads or whatever it is that's not necessarily broad in nature. So you don't really see what the candidate wants. You're seeing what the candidate wants you to hear. And so if they're looking at your Facebook post and they've figured out your personality profile, they know that you go to church on Sunday. They know that you have, you're a gun owner. They know that you don't like this or that. They can customize ads specific to you and their political message to you, and not necessarily as a whole. So it kind of confuses the message on whether or not the candidate really believes what they're doing because they have to say it out in the open, or whether or not they're just telling you what you want to hear.
I would tend to agree. It seems like such an opportunity from the candidate's perspective to really target your marketing dollars in the areas where they'll have the most impacts. So, from that perspective, it seems to make sense from using that data. But at the same time, are we making erroneous assumptions about people? Are we using information without their permission in ways that they didn't anticipate? So, from that perspective, it seems pretty scary to me. And so I think it could have some violations from an ethics perspective or from a privacy perspective.
Yeah, the part of customizing the message and targeting their campaign dollars, when you're dealing with something like Google AdWords or Facebook ads, you can target those to specific zip codes. And so rather than getting your message out across a state or across the entire country, you can target specific swing zip codes, and making sure that you're really not even talking to two-thirds of the country. You're talking to the bit that really is going to determine the election. So yeah, good point.
Very interesting.